First of all, food is medicine. The things which we consider medicine and keep on popping, the pharma pills, those are not medicines. Those are pharma pills which are made to cure your superficial symptoms. Like if you have rashes on anything, to disappear those symptoms. But understand this thing, those symptoms are your body's way of communicating with you. If there is something on your body, it's your body's way of communicating that something is wrong in your body. So that's why you need to check into it. So when you disappear, when you remove the communication channel, when you are disappearing the symptom itself, how will you go and search the root cause? Right? So why do I say food is medicine? Because food is something from where you get your nutrients. When these things happen, it gets absorbed. And as I said, your body is a healing machine. When it gets nutrients, it will take care of all the illness, of all the issues in your body by itself. Let's take a very simple example. If you want to cook a biryani in your home, if you have all the ingredients, you will be able to cook biryani. But if you want to cook a biryani and the most important ingredient is missing, non-veg or veg biryani, the basic rice, how are you going to cook the biryani? Then what is going to happen? You're going to put all of the ingredients and it's going to take some other form, but it's not biryani anymore, right? The same way, when you don't have the right food, is not giving right nutrients, right nutrients are not getting into the body, and some nutrients are depleted or missing in your body. How is your body going to make that enzymes? So we will learn how to use food as a medicine. First thing, quit sugar. Sugar ferments in stomach. No questions asked. Now you will be like, I already knew about this. Sugar is bad for your health. What is new? Sugar is bad for your health. Everybody knows this. And I'm saying quit sugar. I'm not saying quit sweet. If you feel like having sweets, you can definitely have sweets, but not sugar. Why? Because sugar is ultra processed. When sugar goes in your body, it takes away all your nutrients and it's making your body more depleted, right? So don't have sugar, no brown sugar as well. So try to have sweet as less as possible. Now I will give you some examples where you can substitute the sugar. One is monk fruit sugar. Okay, second thing is you can go with um, dates dates powder or else coconut sugar, but don't go with this sugar at all. And in general, try to have uh, less processed food. So people can say that I want to have jaggery. Is jaggery good? Jaggery is little bit processed than sugar, but it has got a glycemic load. What is the load? When you have any food and if it got a high glycemic load, it creates a bump. Like suppose you ate the food and it creates a load, it creates a stress on your body to digest it. But suppose if it's coming slowly, 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 your body will be able to process. It's just like looking at a game of Tetris. What happens in the game of Tetris? The bricks keep falling, right? But it's coming in a way where you are able to take each block and place it so that it's getting swiped off and there is more space for new blocks to set it up and play the game of Tetris, right? But just imagine the speed of the Tetris blocks increases. You're not even getting the time to think about it, where to place the block. What will happen? The block will keep on coming up one after the another and the game is over. Same thing is with sugar. Okay, sugar, jaggery, all these things which you mix for sweet is having a high glycemic load. So try to curb. So this is the first combination. Okay, try to quit sugar completely. Instead of that, you can go with something else, which is monk fruit sugar. Write it down: monk fruit sugar, date syrup, or else coconut sugar. But I'm not recommending you to go with this. Like you can have the full freedom to have it anything, because anything of too much is harmful for your body. Yeah, I'm not telling you to have this too much with your food and everything, but anything of too much is bad for your body, right? So next, let us see. Understand this. This is again the logic which I'm giving. Craving is the roller coaster of spikes, which means when you why do you crave? You have a nutritious food, you will never feel the craving. Why won't you feel the craving? Because craving is an indication of your body that the food which you ate is not giving me any energy, so I need more. But if you have a proper nutritious food, your tummy will be full, your mind will be happy, satiated, and that's the reason there will be no craving. And why do we love to have sugar when there is craving? Because sugar gives you instant energy, gives you that jolt of power. But what happens when that having a instant energy and a jolt of power? Let's go to this visualization board and understand. For example, if I take this, the insulin levels were going like this. Okay. Now, if it's a whole food or a food which has got normal sugar levels, there will be slow release. So if the spikes are coming into like this, right? But once you have sugar, the jolt it's going like this, the spike will be like this. After that, it will go ultimately down. And in this process, what will happen? At here, you will feel peak of your energy level. After that, it will be totally drastic, a low in energy level. So we do not want this because this will create mood swings. This will create tiredness, fatigue, a stress in your body, right? So we do not want this. So what we will do is we will have wheat, which is having whole food. What do we mean by whole food? Foods which are made by nature in such a way that when you have that the things to digest that is already there in the food. For example, I'm telling you not to have sugar at all, right? But then if you are having fruits which have got sugar along with the pulp, not juices. Again, juices are not good because you're throwing away the fiber. So when you have a whole fruit, that whole fruit, when it goes in your body, you are chewing that food, it will create a satiety in your body also. It will give you energy also. But at the same time, the nutrients or the things which are required to digest that food is already there in that fruit. Okay, so we are not throwing away anything. But what happens with sugar? With sugar, when sugar cane is extracted and liquid, we have sugarcane juice there, which is fine. But sugar extraction process, the crystallization starts after that, wherein the liquid sugar is going and that is being processed. And in that, all the chemicals or compounds which are there, that is removed. And that is why the sugar, when it goes in your body, it will try to take out all the nutrients from your body. So let us understand next thing is have a food in protein, fats, and carbs format. What do I mean by that? That when you're having your food, first have your protein and fats because protein are cooked in fats. Okay, you take paneer, take fish, you take chicken, that is cooked in fats. So you have these things first, and then you have your carbs. Why? All these things are important, but once you have carbs at last, it will restrict the sugar release. Since not sugar release restriction, it will be slow release of sugar. So we again go back to our vision board and we try to understand what do I mean by having protein and fats first and then having your carbs. So let us take this is a normal Indian plate, right? And that let's make four quadrants. This is consider this like a plate. There's one type of sabji. Okay. Then there is rice and there is grain or roti. Okay. And then there is dal. And then in protein, let us consider that we are having non-vegetarians are having chicken and vegetarians are having paneer. Okay. So what do we do is suppose if we have rice or roti, we will first finish our roti with sabji. Okay, and if there is rice, we will have it with dal, and then we will keep some rice to have it with chicken curry or some rotis to have it with paneer. Now, what did you do is in this process, you had the carbs first, the rice roti went in first. What I am telling you to do, if this is your plate, first have your proteins, have your naked proteins cooked in healthy fats first. If there is chicken, chicken को उठा के खाना शुरू करो. If there is paneer, paneer को उठा के खाना शुरू करो. First have those proteins, okay? And these proteins are already cooked in good fats. Okay, what fats we need to have, that way will come to later on. This, okay, and then you can move on to having your this dal and then sabji. Dal is considered as protein, but it has got very less. So don't consider that as a major source of protein. It has got some protein. Okay, sabjis again as having fibers and everything to have, and this also comes under. Then you have your rice and roti. These are carbs. Something known as that when you are having a in a way where you are used to it, you find that satisfaction, right? So what I tell is that you have your 25% like this, okay? Then you go back to having your carbs and वो वाला thing है यहाँ तक मेरा follow करो, and then keep some food left again to have with your protein, okay? तो last में वापस इससे खत्म करो protein के साथ. इसमें what will happen is that you will find the satiety also, and you have eat the food in the right process also. So this is your second combination. Second combination is have your food in the right way. Protein and fats, these go first, and then you have your uh, carbs. Okay. Now let's go to the next slide. Eat fennel seeds after finishing a meal. Now this is a third combination which many people are aware of, but they do not follow because they think it's very unimportant. Now, this is something where I want to ask you a question. Just try to build a logic. Why do you go in restaurants and there is a tradition of giving you fennel seeds after the meal? Okay. If there is a way to provide the answer, I will see that later on in the course. But I'm asking you this question. Before you proceed further, pause on this question right now. Write it in your diary. Why do you think that fennel seeds are important after having a meal? Why I'm suggesting so? And why did it come into the picture of restaurants? And what is the biggest mistake they are making? Pause this video right now, take some time, and let it be interactive. The more you ask questions to yourself, the more answers you will get. When you get the more answers, you will follow everything which I say. So please pause the video. I'm repeating again and again, even though it's recorded, I'm asking you again and again, please pause the video and ask this question to you. Okay, I waited some time so that I can give the answer. The reason you have fennel seeds, okay, because it helps you with the digestion. Okay, it creates a bulk in your stool. When you are having defecation, the stool which is coming out, it should sink. Okay, when it sinks, it is known as healthy stool. If it's floating, then it's not healthy. So the bulk which is created, this fennel seeds will help you create bulk. It helps in the aid of digestion. Since you have gut issues right now, this thing is going to help you with the aid of digestion. That's why after a meal, try to have fennel seeds. Of course, not too much, the amount which you think is right for your body. I cannot give you any quantity because I do not know what is required for your body in this recording, right? But then what I understood is that when you have fennel seeds after a meal, people started complaining less about bloat, about gas, because it was helping very, very well. Second thing, their stools were very smooth. Third thing, after that, they used to feel that they are after heavy meals, they used to feel light. And this is the reason it came in the culture of restaurants, because when you go in a restaurant, what is the restaurant culture? You do not go to a restaurant every now and then, right? Go to restaurants to celebrate some moment. Okay, it was in olden days. I'm talking about 1990s, and going to meals and restaurant was a very occasion thing. You don't go to every day in restaurant. So why did the restaurants give you fennel seeds after meal? Because when you go to restaurant, that the food is so tasty, it's so alluring that you are bound, or you might end up eating more than your usual limit. When you end up eating more than your usual limit, what you feel? You feel heavy, and that's why they give you the process of fennel seeds. Again, I'm telling you, this is a logic. This is something which I assume from the reason I'm telling you to have fennel seeds is correct one, but why this culture came is my assumption. But it doesn't matter if it's my assumption or not. The theory behind having fennel seeds, that it will create a bulk on your gut, that does not change. So when you go to the restaurants, coming back to the restaurant story, when you go to the restaurants, you have this fennel seeds. It helps you with your bulk and everything. Now understand this thing. You're having more food. You're having fennel seeds. It's helping your digestion. But what is the biggest mistake people did today's time is that they started giving you sugar coated fennel seeds. Now this sugar coated fennel seeds is best not to have. Don't have it at all. If you're having a heavy meal in restaurant, do not have it. Carry your own fennel seeds if they're not able to provide. But if they are providing you the sweet one, do not go for that because, as I said, sweet is going to ferment after a meal. If you have 1 or 2 days you are craving for sweet, you are having sweet, that is a different story altogether. But when you are having the reason for having fennel seeds is that it helps you in your digestion. But if you're having a sugar coated fennel seed, it defeats the purpose. In fact, it's going to create more issues in your gut. So don't do that. Okay. Next, cook in toxin free utensil. Very simple. This is your third combination. Use utensils which are healthy for you. When you go for any type of coating, granite coating, non-stick pans and everything, these pans are having coating. We think that this coating is only getting eroded when we are washing up vessels with a lot of pressure, and that's why the coating is getting removed. It's not true. When you're cooking also, the vessel is getting heated. When the vessel is getting heated, there is a chance of having some of the particles getting, not chance, there is getting some particles mixed in it, right? So the utensils which you shouldn't be using is first aluminum utensils. It will create heavy metal toxicity. Second is this this toxic frying pans, which is marketed as non-sticky frying pans. Don't use those things. And third thing is this: try to cook your food as much as less pressure possible, because when you're cooking your food in pressure, it's breaking the molecules. The nutritive value of the food is getting diminished. So what I would suggest is go with stainless steel utensils. If you cannot switch to stainless steel utensils at this very moment, then try to go it part by part. Just remove the non-stick pan first to get a skillet. Then you remove the kadhai, okay, and then go for a steel kadhai. Normally, I would recommend you to go with surgical steel grade cooking utensils. But nowadays, you get 3-ply and 5-ply utensils also, which is healthy. Okay, in the sense that there is no toxic releasing on those also. One more is there iron cast is there, but iron cast is very difficult to maintain because there is something known as the process of seasoning. So when you wash the iron cast utensils after the cleaning and everything is done, you need uh, put oil on it and keep it covered with oil. If you don't do that, the iron will catch rust, and that is going to again becoming gut damaging. So in modern lifestyle, I have created and curated this guide, this course for people those who are busy. So in the modern lifestyle, if it becomes a too much of havoc to go with iron utensils, that's why this is a hack. You can go with stainless steel utensils. Okay. Next comes food combination. You can go with stainless steel utensils. Okay. Now let's go to the next chapter.